Hello, sunshines. How art thou? How art thou? I am so like trying to get this. I don't know. But anyway, how art thou? I don't know if I am like crazy or not, but why would I schedule two classes back to back? Because now it's like, do I have enough room? Do I have enough time? My Sundays is booked. Sound crazy, sound crazy, sound crazy. But yeah, how art thou? How was your week? How was your weekend? Hi, Gigi. This is all about you today, love. This right here, I thought of you. I thought of you. When I said, what am I going to put on a hat that will be easy and good enough to practice with? And then I was like, ooh, that crochet queen taught me a little bit of something. I said, let me put vote. Okay. So if you don't mind, let's use this as a teachable lesson. And when I saw your shirt, very creative, beautiful, and creative. But in order to maximize our funds and to make it quality, the best thing for you to do is have a good graph. So I don't know where you got the vote part from. If you did it on your own or not, I don't know. But when we do our graphs, we want to make sure that it's like thick, kind of double lined, only because when you crochet, you can see that it's like one straight line, and that straight line kind of like disappears. So when that line disappears, you tend to see like little holes or gaps in between. You don't want that because you are great crocheters. So because you all are great crocheters, you don't want your work to look kind of like laggy. So when you have a good graph and you copy that good graph, your work tends to look a little better. If you have a bad graph, it looks like you're like dun. So that's just word of advice, and that's why I said let me just use this as a teachable moment. And I think that okay, you used letters from your inspiration. Okay, so I think that the people who are over me making millions of money doing what they do best in crocheting, I'm not saying that they crochet great, because they actually do. I learned a lot from them. Like Crochet Crowd and a lot of those people who've been crocheting for years. They do what they can do best. What I did, they have such a broad spectrum of crocheting. So because they have such a broad spectrum of crocheting, their focus is not on one particular thing. Their focus is on, this is something that we're going to do and it works, it looks good, and let's do it. So me, who my focus is clearly on just Graphghan everything. So I put a lot of my time and my energy on just how to perfect it. So when I noticed myself, when I was using, like I said, I would graph to crochet and crochet to graph. So I would literally make that graph, crochet it. It didn't look right. So I would crochet something and then graph it just to make sure that I know how I was doing it, and how, if I'm going this way and this way, because crochet lags a little. It goes one way and then it goes another way. So when we do that, we want to just make sure our letters and everything hook up. I'm sorry, I'm changing everything around. I got boxes everywhere. Please excuse me. Okay, so we just want to make sure everything lines up. And I want to use an example, but I don't want to use an example, if you know what I'm saying. I could do it this way. Yeah, this is how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it this way. So I'm gonna use an example just to show you. And this is a example that we need to know when we're doing the hats, because you don't want your hat to look wonky. I don't know what other word to use, but you don't want your hat to look crazy. And it's such a small area, so because it's such a small area, we just want to make sure that we're maximizing our talent, our graph, everything. Oh, the letters were for cross stitch. You know what though? I still don't use single letters for my cross stitch. I actually make book covers and stuff like that. And when I do my book covers, I always make sure my lines are like boom on point because I'm special and I think of that Saks Fifth Ave and not Lee's or Kmart or Woolworth. So I try to make sure everything on all scales that I do is like on point even though it's cross stitch because PC stitch is for cross stitching. So that's why some people when they do their projects and they're using PC stitch, they're like, "What are you talking about, Diva? This is what it's." Well, let me tell you something. We took PC stitch for cross stitching and made it into crocheting, and so yeah, that's what I did. And because he did that, people are like going crazy. Like, what is she talking about? Like, this look good. This is not saying that your work don't look good. What I'm saying is it's a difference. If you look at my work and look at someone who did a blanket with a lot of choppy lines, you can see the difference. And if you want to maximize your dollars, that's the best thing to do is quality. You know, people buy Bradleys. I don't know why I keep saying Bradleys, but people buy Bradleys. People buy what you call it Woolworth or Kmart when it was open. People buy stuff from that, even like little clothes and stuff like that. But if you want something really good, you want to go to some special dinner or something, and you want to look real fly because you know you're going to be on TV and everything. You tend to want to spend a little bit more and do a little bit more and go to that Saks Fifth Ave and get you a nice outfit. That's how it is with me and this. That's how I feel. I take it real serious. I take it real serious. So, okay, so here is what I came up for a hat. This is a size for a baby, so don't what I can do is make it for an adult size. I can make one for an adult size, and I'm also making one a little bit bigger in case you want to make a bag or a shirt or something. But I'm sorry, I can't just do that. I can't. I can't just do that. So I kind of sort of made something else. I deep I deepified it. I made it into something like a little different. I can't show you that yet though. I can't show you that yet. But you know, I have like two or three different ones. I have one for like LBGT Q community. I have one for the African American community. I have one for the American Pride, you know, your flag. I have one for each different communities because I think that when it's time to vote, that's something special and dear for you and only you, and we need to take it seriously. Vote, and that's what everybody need to do. Vote. So if you walking around with your crochet piece that says vote, I guarantee you someone is gonna look at it and someone's gonna question it and someone's gonna be like, well, dang, if she took the time to do that, maybe I should do that. I don't know. I just think of stuff like that. All right, so that is little because like I said, I'm doing it because I only do baby stuff on here. So that is little. But I am going to have one for adult size head. So if you want to use this, you can actually use it because it fits straight in the middle for adult hats. So you could definitely use that. But um, what I don't want you to do is something like this. Let me make this a little larger. Something like, let me see. Mm-mm-mm. Let me move this down a little bit. Now let me show you. Let me show you what I'm trying to tell you. So there are some ones in here already, right? Some fonts that were already in here, and there's some fonts that I downloaded. So as you can see, depending on what font you pick, it changes. You want to get the best one. 9 times out of 10, I have to do my own because it's not going to come out the way I want it to come out, especially if it's in a small area, because a lot of you want them small areas because you don't want to do anything big. So I am always commissioned to do something so tiny, so I will have to make it up on my own. This one is fairly okay, but because it has a lot of single lines, like in here it has a single line, you don't want to tend to use it because it will cause a lot of gap and holes in between. You don't want the gap and holes in between. You want it solid, solid as a rock. And like this, you don't want to use that. But let me show you something that has unconnected lines. Unconnected lines is something that we kind of sort of came up with, myself and actually a couple of people before me. Instead of saying unconnected lines, they may say something else, but we came up with unconnected lines because there are lines that are not connected, like this. They're not connected. They look jagged. And because it looks like the word vote to you, you may think it's good, but it's really not, because when you crochet it, it tends to disappear and reappear and disappear. So we call it unconnected lines because those are the lines that you can connect, like connect the dots. If you can connect the dots with those, then it's not a good graph. You want something that's solid, like this at the bottom. You want something that is going to stand out when you crochet. So the more I go, the more you see the different variations of one word and how I go through the trouble of trying to figure out which one would be best for you if I'm being commissioned to complete your graph. This is exactly what I do all day, every day, trying to figure out which one is the best. So yeah, there you go. This is the reason why I am very strict when it comes to trying to get the right graph, because it makes a difference. That versus this makes a difference. So I know there's a lot of graphs out there that's for free that everybody's trying to support this and support that. And everyone wants to, I'm sorry, everybody wants to support and the Black Lives Matter and, you know, your flags and 2020. Everyone wants to support, but if you're going to support, make sure that it looks good. Make sure that you have it on point so that you don't have to worry about it looking like you don't know how to crochet when you are in fact a perfect crocheter. And that's the crazy thing about it. It's like it makes you look like you're not a bad graph, will make you look like you're not even a good crocheter when you are a great crocheter. So that's just something to keep your eye on. Okay, so I started the beginning. So the next thing I'm going to do is the actual graph part. I already started that. I'm going to use a smaller hook only to show you where you're going to put your stitches in, not because that's the right size. So don't say this came out really small, Diva. No, don't use that. So the correct size that you would use is either I or H, whatever you want. It's up to you. The in the classroom, it's the same exact graph. The thing is, I'm using it a little different. I'm doing the waistcoat. So last week I just showed you a basic, how to do a graph gown and around. This week I'm going to show you something detailed. So let me show you something, because I know a lot of people bought my hat graphs and never knew how to make it, because Diva is so detailed. Because I do something that's so detailed, you're like, what the heck did she just give me? And no one even asked. I think maybe 2 people asked, how am I supposed to do this? But no one really like said, Diva, how do I supposed to do this? So I'm going to tell you how. I'm going to tell you how you're supposed to do it. Let me see if I could show you the There's a Finding Nemo one that blew everyone away. Not necessarily because they wanted to buy it, but more so because they didn't understand how you use it. Like, what is she doing? Like, why did she give this to me? Because you're supposed to use it, but I don't see it. Where the heck is it? Oh boy, of course I don't see it, but let me see if I have something similar. Because basically I want to show you something that's very detailed and it does not have to look like Dr. Seuss hat. The Dr. Seuss hat, that long hat. No, 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 no. The hats, graphs that I make is regular hats, not Dr. Seuss. No, 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 no. Oh, I found one. I found one. I don't know what it is though. Oop, but I found one. Okay, I don't know what it is. I did it for someone, but that was a custom one, so I'll do that. And you got hiccups? Oh, poor baby. Poor baby got hiccups. Can one of the moderators please give Sheila the information for the ebook? She was trying to help you in the other live, Sheila. But I think you already left. Okay. Let me show you. Okay, so this right here is what I am trying to explain to you. As you can see, people are like, what in the world, Diva? Okay, think about it. If you are doing a hat, that is the how many stitches I have on there is the how many stitches that you need for that hat. For a female, I think it was like 65 to 70 stitches, and for like a male, like 70 stitches to 74. And you use that whole entire thing for your hat. The thing about it is you need to make sure when you are starting it, when you're doing the top part, or if you're starting from the bottom, make sure it color coordinates. So if I was to do it, I would start it with maybe the brown color. But in the middle, it's going to be that D and that C, and then it's going to be that red, white, and blue. So the red, white, and blue is not just going to be in that area and stop. It's going to go from all the way around. And then where you connect your, when you do your slip stitch from that first one and you go back around again, you're going to do the red, white, and blue again, do your DC, and then that's going to be the rest of that brown color. So I don't think that people understood that. I don't know why, but for instance, I have a Mary Jane marijuana, the weed logo, but in the weed logo, I also have the colors of I think it's like red, black, and green. So when I have the red, black, and green, people would stop right there because all I did was the front part of the graph was just the front part. When in reality, those colors supposed to go all the way around. So when I do my hat graphs, I'm doing my hat graphs and it looks like a rectangle only because that's going to be the body of your work, not just that middle part. Now, sometimes I do just the middle part, and the only reason why I do that is because there's no design anywhere else. But I am going to continue to do the whole entire body because I feel like that is better. That's how I feel. I feel like that would be better to do the whole entire body. That way, it'll help you so you know what's in the middle. Because we don't want the stuff to go all the way around our head, right? You know, if you want to name you gotta turn your head around just so they can see your whole name. No, we want it to be in the middle. So if it goes around a little, that's fine, but not around the whole head. We don't want to do that. So that's how I do my graphs. Everything is not going to work. Everything is not going to fit in that area. So that's why I'm like creative when it comes to something like that, because I try to make it fit, and if it doesn't fit, then I would do something else. That Finding Nemo will be perfect because the Finding Nemo wasn't, it was the body of Nemo, but then it had like circles for like the water and stuff like that. So the whole entire hat can be used as the whole entire thing. It was not just something in the middle, it was the whole entire hat. So that's what I wanted to show you, but I can't find it. It's probably on a drive that broke. I have a drive that broke. So yeah, it's probably on that. All right, so we're gonna continue and we're gonna do the waistcoat. Again, I am using simple basic beanie hat pattern. Only difference is I'm using the waistcoat. So because I'm using a waistcoat and it's a little smaller than your single crochet, I will go up a hook size. So I am going up a hook size. So I'm supposed to use I'm going to use J, because being that the waistcoat is a little smaller than single crochet, just go up a little bit. You can go up even another one if you want, depending on the size hat you want. So I'm making a baby. This actually will not be for any specific baby unless they want it, because it's gonna have vote on it. But I tend to do all baby stuff on here because it's quicker. Okay, let's get this party started. Let's start. So I did all of my increases. So because I did all of my increasing, I am going to Shay, I'm sorry. I saw what you said. I just was trying to focus on this. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. Shay was gonna come on to try to use her screen, but she's saying she can't get on, and I don't understand. File not this file is not a PC stitch and cannot be loaded. It is a PC stitch file. I'm confused. I just did it off PC stitch. I don't know. Forget it. Don't worry about it. That's weird. We need to figure that out. We need to figure out why that happened to you. We'll do that another time. That's weird. I don't understand that. All right. So, okay. So after I finished my rows of doing my increase, the next ones are the body. So like I explained last week, if you're going to start at the top, you're going to do your increase and then start your body. And then finish off with your border, your brim, or whatever. Or you start with your brim, you do your body, and then you end off with your increases. Well, it will be decreases. So it doesn't matter. I, for some reason, love to start from the top to the bottom. But if I want a certain brim, I, of course, would start at the bottom and work my way up. But I like this way better. I don't know why. I just do. So to start with the vote, let me show you my vote. To start with my vote, we need to make sure that it is smack dead in the middle. So this is going to be over a little bit more because a baby size is really tiny, tiny, tiny. Like I said, you could use this for an adult. Okay, so I am going to take my okay, I am going to go and do how many stitches? So because this is smack dead in the middle, you want to make sure that it's in the middle. Let me see. So I have 10 right here, and then I want to make sure I have 10 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll have 10 here. Yep, smack in the middle. Booyah. Okay, so I would need to do 11 and then start my graph, and then I would end off with 11. That should be the a number of how many stitches your body should have. If it's not that, you need to make sure you did it correctly. That's if you're doing the, whatever you're doing, if you're doing baby or whatever. So say if you're doing an adult is 70, make sure you just add your 70. Just add your 70. So it would be 70. So if I add my 70, sorry, let me get rid of this. So this is confusing. Get rid of that. Erase that. Move that up. Your body is like 15 rows, so I always put like 15. And here we go. So in order to make that smack that in the middle, I usually like play around with it. So that's 20, and this is 20, but it's still a little bit more. So so that is 22, and this is 21. So it's a little off, but only by 1. So it's fine. Yeah. Oh, wait. No. Wait. Now it's perfect now. It's perfect. 22 and 20. No, it's not. Sorry. Jesus. One more over. Okay. Now it should be good. So if you were supposed to do this for an adult, I would do 24 stitches first, and then you're going to start your graph. You're going to make sure when you start your graph, you're starting it from the top. If you're going to start the top, and if you're going to start it from the bottom, you start from the bottom. Okie dokie. Now let's go. Let's go. All right. So I'm starting it from the top. So being that I'm starting from the top, this is going to be the waistcoat. So when I did my increase up here, I did half double crochet. Now I'm going to do the waistcoat. The waistcoat is really simple. All you're doing is the single crochet, and then you're going to place your hook smack that in the middle. Booyah. So you're going to have the V. You know how you have the V on the sides of your stitch? You're splitting it open. You're splitting it open. That's it. That's all. You go to the V, split it open. That's it. You just put in your hook in between the side and not on the top, but in between. That's what you're doing. That's it. Okay. So we're going to do one single crochet. So I did my chain. Now let me get to the other camera so you can see what the heck I'm doing. This is why I want OBS. I want to make sure my OBS is working. I'm gonna try that for no, I can't try it for tomorrow because I got a guest tomorrow. So I gotta use this. I'm gonna get it together one day. I'm gonna get it together. Let's get it together. Okay. You don't need me. You just need that, right? You just need that. Okay. So the waistcoat. The waistcoat is in between the stitch. Again, I'm using a smaller hook just so you can see. In between here is where you're going to put your stitches. In between here. So actually we're going to single, let me see. If I single crochet in that same stitch, yeah, single crochet in the same stitch. If you notice, you have the V like that right here on the side, not the top V, the side V. That is where you're going to put your stitches at, right here in that side V, right there. Booyah. That's where you're going to do it. The only reason why I had showed you the single crochet is because, like I said, I did half double crochet here because I wanted to increase a little larger, being that I'm using this for a baby. All right, so you put it right in between here. Even though I'm using this and it has HDC, it's basically the same exact thing. So this actually can be used for when you want to make certain type of designs. When you're making a hat, you could use this. When you change colors, it looks like little specks. So if I was changing colors and I was using this in the gray, sorry. So if I was changing colors and I was using this in the gray at the same time, you would get a red and a gray and a red and a gray and a red and a gray. That's how certain patterns, that's how they get that effect. But right now we're trying to do letters. So I'm going to do 25, I think I said. No, 22. 1 second. Let me look. Let me go back to my 45. So I can make sure I get the right. So if you're using, you got to do your own calculations now. I can't do it for everyone, but I'm doing a baby. So because I'm doing the baby, my baby is, the body would be 45. 45, the body would be 45. So it would be 12. 5. Okay. 12. No, 11. Okay, 11. So I have to do 11. See, the thing about these Graphghans and stuff like that, you got to know how to count and have common sense. That's why I spend so much time doing it, because it's like, if you don't count or have common sense, it just comes out crazy. But 9 times out of 10, you guys are paying me to do it. So I'm doing all the calculations and work. So as long as you have that graph that tells you what to do, you good. All right. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I need 10 and 11. Okay, so once I get to the 11th one, I need to stop, because that's when I'm gonna add my start adding my graph. And again, I still use my pop, lock, and drop. So that's what I'm trying to do right now. I am going through one stitch and then I'm dropping it. When I do that, I'm going to add my next color, add that onto my hook, and go through both. I always tuck down from the back. Next is, let me see how many I got. I have to do 2 two black, well, two grays and three red, two grays. Okay, so I'm going to do two grays. So I'm going to put it in the middle. Again, the middle, not up here, in the middle. The middle down here, because you're splitting your stitch. And you're going to complete it like a regular single crochet. So that's one and two. Now I have to change colors again. Here it is. And so as you can see a little bit, but you want to make sure too that you're not doing this tight, because if you do it tight, it's going to be hard. So when you get to the next row, it's going to be hard for you to put it through the middle. So don't do it so tight. So I'm going to use my trick, and I'm going to let this hang a little bit, because with the V you need to have two sides. So instead of adding more yarn, I'm just going to do my little trick. As you can see, I have a long tail. The tail is long enough for me to use the whole, so I can finish the whole entire V. So the tail, I just make it a little bit long. Okay, so now I'm going to do it again. Oh, wait, I put that in the wrong area. See, this is where you got to be careful too, because if you put it up here in the wrong stitch, that means you may miss a stitch and your count is going to be wrong. So make sure you're putting it in the right area, because I just messed up. So again, when I do this is because when I do the waistcoat, what makes me want to do the waistcoat versus regular single crochet or half double crochet is because when you have a graph that has a lot of detail, the waistcoat is small enough to add all of your detail. And it looks almost like knit when you do it. Okay, so there you go. Now I'm going to do it again. Go in between. Pull up my yarn. And booyah. There you go. Sorry, we gotta change colors. Yarn over and pull through one. Because I have to change colors, that's the only reason why I had to stop. Okay, so now I need to get the other end of my yarn. And put it right here, because I would need three. I would need three. And also what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this gray because I need it for the other end. But when I drag the gray, I'm going to make sure that this tail of the red is going to go over it so that you do not see the color of the gray in between. 3 is the max. Like I had mentioned before in my previous videos, I do not like to cross-contaminate my colors. So I make sure that if I am going to cross-contaminate or carry my yarn, I won't do no more than 3. So here we go. And we are, as I'm going, I'm pushing this red tail on top and pushing the gray to the back, because you do not want to see that gray when you are carrying it. And then we're going into the stitch again, and we're pulling up, and now we need to do one more. Okay, now yarn over, pull through one, pull it towards the back and pick up your gray, yarn over, pull through both, and I tug it to the back a little bit. So now I need 2 gray. So I'm going in 1 and 2. Okay, so that starts your V. That's the top of your V. That's going to be huge. That is going to be huge. Yeah, that's going to be kind of going across the whole entire hat. Something that I don't like. But again, this is for demonstration purposes only. And I am not making no full woman size hat. Absolutely not. Sorry. Can't do it. I can't do it. That's just going to be forever. Forever. This is not forever. Do I have any questions? Any questions? You are kind of out of focus. Well, focus then. Focus, man. Jeez. You always got something to say, Miss Shay. Jeez. Focus, man. Okay, so my next one, I love bothering her. She always getting on me about something. Always. Jeez. So next one I'm gonna do 2 red and 3 gray and 2 red again. 2 red, 3 gray. So again, I could do with this the same thing. My little trick where I pull the tail a little bit, so I could use that again instead of having to add more. Because once this part is done and over with, the rest is like easy. Okay, go in. Is that better a little bit? Shay Shay? Shasha? Shay Shay Shasha? 2 of the red. Now I need 3 gray. Let me get my gray. Shay Shay Shasha. Twinkle Twinkle. You're gonna cut it out with that twinkle twinkle little star. I'm moving to the suburbians now. So you can't say that I'm like that anymore. Because I'm not. All right, so the next one is going to be a O. So because it's going to be a O, I am thinking ahead of time. So because I'm thinking ahead of time, I am going to do the same thing and pull my tail a little bit long. I'm going to use that as well. Okay, so I am taking my red and pulling that along because I also have the red back here too. Red back here for this, the 2. And I have the red here. So now we're going to go into the next one. And I need 3 of the gray. That's 1, 2. Again, do not crochet like how I crochet in hard. Like I crochet, sometimes I crochet so heavy-handed. It's a shame. Right, so I have 3 up here. Now I need the red, which is going to be 2. And I'm going to take that and make 2. So as you see, I really did not carry that gray because I didn't have anything to cover over it. So I didn't really carry it. What I did do was push it over so that when I'm finished this too, all I have to do is just push it along. And that's all I did. I just pushed it along over. Okay, so now the next one is the T. So I need 4 for the T. 4 grays for the T. So again, I did it again. I'm not always doing waistcoat. Put it in the middle. I don't know why I keep doing that. Okay. So now we're gonna go in here again, in here. Can you see? I don't know why it's not focusing right. That's weird. I need to fix that. My phone automatically focuses. Maybe I should use my phone. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then I am going to yarn over and pull through that 1 loop so that we could change colors again. So now that I did the 4, my next one is I think is 1 red. Yeah, 1 red and 4 gray. So I am going to use the end of this and put it over here. Push it down from the back. And go in between again, in between your post, and do your single crochet. But again, it's waistcoat. So I have the 1. So because I have this 1, I'm going to yarn over and pull through that 1. Now let me get my gray. So do you see how time consuming this is and how this can be, man? Do you see this? But I'm telling you, your work would be so, like, it will really pay itself off, to be honest with you. Because I realize I make more money doing Graphghans and stuff with, like, people's names and stuff on it than in making a regular blanket or a regular scarf or a regular hat. I get more orders for stuff like this. Okay, and the last one for. So now I can complete the rest with just red. Just the red. And I'm glad that is over with because I can't stand the first time when you're adding all your stuff, all the colors, and if you're using bobbins, all your bobbins. I don't use bobbins, but I can't stand doing that part. Okay, so now we're going to finish the end of this row. This is so easy. Once you start doing it, it's super duper easy. Believe me. In the beginning, I did not want to do it because I felt overwhelmed. But I just kept on going and kept on going and kept on going, and then bam. So as you can see, I'm going to show you in one sec. When you're doing this type of stitch, it looks a little different than the holies. Like, this is all half double crochet, but this right here is a little bit more like compact, and it looks neat. It looks good. Once you come back around and start splitting the stitches, oh my god, it'll be even better. Watch. All right, so now we're going to yarn over, not yarn over, Jesus. Chain one and turn your work. So now let's start the next row. I'm going to show you the graph. Let me show you the graph. So that's why I had wanted Miss Shay Shay on here so that I didn't have to keep doing this, but it's okay. It's all right. We'll get it together. I'm going to use the OBS next time. Okay, so we did this row right here. We did that. This is the row we just completed. So now it's time to do the next row. The next row is going to start on this side. So because it's starting on this side, I'm going to start with the E and then work my way over to the TONV. Okay, now let's get that off of here and start the camera. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? My funky sensation. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut this. Cut that and that because I don't want it to confuse anyone. So that's how I do my weaving. Cut it. Doing final exam, so I'm mostly listening. Okay, all right, you. Okay, Miss Final Exam. Okay, so now that I turned around, we're going in the middle of the stitch. The middle of the stitch. And then your single crochet. Right here, smack in the middle. So, like I said, make sure that when you crochet it, make sure you crochet loose because if you crochet like me, it's going to be hard to get in between those stitches. And remember, you know how a stitch look like. You know how a stitch look like. So make sure you are going in between the right part of the stitch. So instead of going up here where the hole is at, where the stitch where we usually go, you're going down here at the bottom. In between the two V's. That's where you're going. I'm telling you guys to crochet light. I thought I was crocheting light. I guess not. So when I did my other one, when I did the other hat with this stitch, I used a smaller hook. I used a smaller hook. I didn't use this big hook. Okay. And it does take some time to, because you're so used to putting it into the top part. So it does take some time to get used to make sure that you are putting it into the right ones. But you'll get the hang of it. I promise you will. Okay, so now it's time to change colors. I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to put that in between there and go right smack in the middle with the gray. As you see, I'm taking my tail with me so that I don't have to crochet that. So I don't have to weave that in. So I'm taking that with me. Wait a minute. 4. Here we go. And the last one. yarn over, pull through one, and then pull it down. So as you can see, that's how I did the waistcoat. So honestly, I would not do the waistcoat for something like this. I'm just showing you this technique in case you wanted to make something with a lot more detail, because this can be done with a regular single crochet or half double crochet stitch. But something very, very, very detailed, like I explained to you before, that Finding Nemo one with all the bubbles and stuff everywhere, that's one that you would use this for. So I'm going in between again. This is one. I'm going to crochet over this tail. So this is one. In between the E and the T is one. Crochet over this tail. You know what? I want to do a Black Panther graph just in honor of Chadwick. You know, I already have a couple of Black Panthers, but I just want to do one in honor of him. I think that would be awesome. Go in and out, in and out. And as you're doing it, make sure that you putting your yarn in the right places, you know, because if you're not doing that, then you need to go back to Hat 101. You need to go back to Graphghan 101, because you have to make sure that you're doing the right thing so that it doesn't look a mess. And then you just keep on going until you finish. Okay, so yeah, do I have any questions? It starts to look a little different. As you can see, you're going to see the little tiny V's. I don't know if you can see it, but you start seeing the little tiny V's. You see that at the bottom? That's how it's going to start looking. It's going to start looking like little tiny V's at the bottom. You would love a Black Panther? A Black Panther what? A Black Panther what? You guys be having me doing all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. But yeah, that's basically the waistcoat. So the waistcoat is for very detailed graphs, and it's a little bit more difficult, but it's doable. It's definitely doable. That's how I made the hat up here. This one. That's how I made that one with the waistcoat. Waistcoat. It Because I was able to use the waistcoat, that graph was a little bit long and a little bit wide, and I had to do it that way in order to make it look good and look like the detail is crisp. So in order for me to have done that, I had no other choice but to use the waistcoat. I had no choice. So if I did the single crochet, it would almost look like a fez. It wouldn't look like a hat. It would look like a fez. Or almost going into Dr. Seuss hat. And we didn't want that. A throw focusing on Chadwick mostly. Okie dokie. I actually started designing one. So I just need to continue it. But do I have any other questions? Because if I don't, I am going to stop today, because I have a lot of packing and stuff to finish for the rest of the week. I really thought I would be finished by now, but I'm not. And next Sunday, I will not be doing a live because I am moving that day. I was thinking you would do that. I have my Black Panther t-shirt. Very sad. He was so young. ABC is replaying Black Pushing tonight in a small documentary of his life. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. That's good to know. Thanks. Thanks for letting me know that. I didn't know that. That was quick. They're real quick. Yeah, he's actually, we're the same age. And that's sad because I had cancer. It's sad. Because I had went through stage 3. And then my stage 3, I was able to go into remission. I was 25, but I'm here to talk about it. So I get something like survivor's guilt sometimes. I don't know if you know anything about it, but sometimes I get survivor's guilt, where I feel like, why am I the one who survived and no one else did? They could have the same exact cancer, same exact stage, and I'm like, why? Like, it bothers me sometimes, but I'm learning more because it's been years now. I'm learning more how to get over it. So, okay, you guys go ahead and watch the Black Panther. I didn't know it was on, so I'm gonna go watch that and finish doing what I'm doing. And I will see you tomorrow, Monday, Mentor Monday. And then that's it. Have a good night. Bye. I'm gonna stay like this until